Hi folks, welcome back to Cleveland County Kitchen. My name is Deborah Blanton. I'm host of the show, and I'm here with Rodney and Lynn Willis. They do sorghum, and you're going to find out they do something else. They make cornmeal and grits, of all things. And we're starting the entire process, so we'll hope you get an idea of what they have to go through to make your cornmeal that you can make cornbread out of. We're standing next to an old farmall tractor, and you'll see the startup of the power takeoff, which is going to turn the grist mill. So, stand by. Well, hi, was that not all exciting? The shaking and the noise and the grinding and the carrying on. Well, I've got the corn right here that was in the top part of this thing after it was shucked, and he's got a whole mechanism to do that, but he pours, you saw the bag going in, and that's what it is. And this is what you picked from the field, Rodney.
Right.
And I guess you did too, Lynn, didn't you? And it's hanging down is what you want it to be.
As
to
it
know
dries.
that the dries. Well, that's
As it dries in the field, it hangs down.
it hangs down. So as you're driving down the road looking at a cornfield, you'll know now what's happening. Well, they've got well, actually, they have three things, but the last one is the chaff that you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing that comes out is this lovely cornmeal. Oh, it feels like sand or even finer than sand. It's the most wonderful feeling stuff. That's your cornmeal right there. And then this is the grits, which is a little coarser. Now that's more like sand.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah. So Lynn's going to be doing our cornbread for the third half of our show. And we're going to be using, which one of these, Lynn, for the cornbread?
Cornbread will be the cornmeal.
The cornmeal, okay. And of course, we'll show you how much to add and all that. And you have to add your baking powder.
You do
Yeah.
baking powder. You actually add wheat flour to it too.
Oh, well, we won't tell anybody. No, we will. We'll tell you. We'll tell you. All right. And now, Rodney, I know you're really particular about the corn that you grow and you grind, and you just don't take any ear, even though it's hanging down. It's
Right.
got to be like a perfect ear. So, can you explain how you pick the corn that you grind?
Okay. This is a open pollinated corn, so I'm after the seed, the quality seeds, and of course the quality kernel to make the cornmeal and grits. But so we wait until late fall, usually around Thanksgiving, after it's had time to dry in the field. Then we look and check the corn and look and understand what the moisture content may be in the kernel, because we want it to be dry before we pull it. We like for it to dry in the field if possible. Then we pull it, we shuck it in the field, then we put it in a large wire basket, let it continue to dry a little bit more. Then we take each cob and look at it, visually look at it, and if we see any bad kernels, we pop them out with a screwdriver or a finger or something like that. Then once we've done that, we run it through a hand cranked sheller. We shell the corn, then we take that and then we run it through a seed cleaner and we remove any parts of the cob that may have got out through the sheller or any broken kernels, trying to get all that out so we have a higher quality cornmeal and grits.
Cornmeal, yeah. Well, in just feeling this stuff, I can tell, I mean, there's nothing in there, no cob or anything. I mean, it's the real ground up corn. Well, listen, folks, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We'll talk to Nancy Abasiekong about what's good about cornmeal and grits and all that. And then we'll move on to Lynn cooking.
One thing that's worth noting
Yes.
is this is whole corn. What you buy in the store has been degerminated. That's a big difference because this still has the germ in it, which is the little fatty part of the seed.
Right.
And guess what? That's what makes it good.
Oh, is the fatty part of the...
And see, and then that's why I keep it always refrigerated or frozen. If you buy it, if it's whole kernel corn, you want to keep it refrigerated or in the freezer.
I got you.
Because over time, it has some shelf stability, but it's better to keep it cold.
So, and you're going to be selling this at the farmer's market too. That's another good point.
Right.
And you'll have instructions on the bag after you open it or refrigerate it as soon as you get it.
We keep it labeled. On our label, we say keep refrigerated.
Good deal. Good deal. Remember that, folks.
And if you want to sort of see where we're at in the process, either with the sorghum or the corn, you can check us on Facebook at Willis Farms Bellwood.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you, Lynn. Woohoo! We'll look for you at the farmer's market.
Yep.
Thank you both.
Between your job, your family, and other demands on your time, life can get pretty hectic. So we want you to take time for yourself. Hi, I'm Jennifer Harrell, and I want you to join me for your health. Each month, the Cleveland County Health Department and C19 TV will explore topics that affect you and your family's health. We'll discuss the importance of exercise, a healthy diet, and regular health screenings and checkups. From fitness tips to warning signs to the latest healthcare news. For Your Health will help keep you in shape and up to date in Cleveland County. We want you to be your best, so join us each month for Your Health, right here on Spectrum Cable and online, c19.tv.
When we started in January of 2004, I don't think any of us thought it would last 11 years. I think what's made it last is the difference in personalities. People have to learn something that they don't necessarily read in a local paper, especially about local politics. And to some degree, it has to be entertaining. I think that's probably what Dean and I have done the most of, is help make it entertaining from time to time. You know, I think the really good thing that's made it fun for me is getting to know people with different political views.
At CCC, we're all about training students for exciting careers. Our Barber Academy is a great example. Did you know jobs for barbers, stylists, and other related fields are increasing? Competition for the best jobs will be strong. With your CCC training, you'll have a definite edge. Our courses give you the skills and knowledge you need to sit for North Carolina's Apprentice Barber exam. To move up the ladder, you need at least 1 year of on-the-job training before you take the state's registered barber exam. If you pass, it's official. You'll be a registered barber. While private barber schools can cost $10,000 or more, CCC makes it affordable. Plus, you can complete our Barber Academy in only 15 months. Now the question is, are you ready to start your journey today?
Well, folks, welcome back. We have been to the grinding, grumbling, carrying on with the power takeoff on the tractor, with the shaky machine, and the grinding of the corn. What an exciting presentation the Willises gave us. And with the resulting product, you put in one product, and you grind it, and you come out with really 3 different things. The cornmeal is first, because that's ground the most, and then it's shaky, shaky, shaky. Then the grits are left, and they fall down through a bigger screen, and then what? Yeah, I think that's right, right. And then what comes out the
Hominy?
back end? No, what
Oh.
comes out the back end is the chaff and some of the other stuff that they don't need, or that we don't
Right,
need in
that
our
we don't eat.
cornbread or
Right.
whatever else we're going to eat. Now, I will tell you this, Nancy, they use the whole corn, so they don't take out the fatty part of the grain, so that their particular cornmeal has to be refrigerated, because the fat product in that cornmeal must be kept cold. Or
The germ.
The germ, thank you. That's exactly what that is.
Right,
Yes.
right.
So,
Which is often processed out if you get to something that is a quick cooking or that kind of thing. But yes, and then that makes it a whole grain,
oh, yes.
which is,
Yes. Well, I mean, and it's just fresh as it can be. They select their corn, and but tell us why we need to eat cornbread, which is one of my favorites.
And isn't that a treat that it's good for us that we get to eat cornbread? My goodness, how wonderful. And cornmeal certainly is a popular Southern food, and other places too surely must be making cornbread and hush puppies. And of course, cornmeal might be used for breading over our baked or fried products,
Oh,
your meats
okay.
and things like that. Or so it gets a lot of use.
Yeah, yes.
And
yes.
often what you see in the store is not a whole grain cornmeal,
Yes.
because it is processed, and it would be a little more shelf stable and have a longer shelf life. But for the whole, and half of the grains that we eat, we want to be whole grains.
Okay.
So
Well, that's good.
certainly
Yes, of
that's
course.
a plus.
Right.
And like you say, storing it in any cornmeal, you would want to store in a cool, dry, dark place, away from heat. So don't store it near the range or the stove or the refrigerator, even, because that outside, that gives
Puts
off
out
heat.
a lot of heat, sure.
Right. But a whole grain, like what you're saying, the Willis's serve and they sell, has to be refrigerated, or you can store it in the freezer for
Yes.
longer term
Yes, well,
in an airtight, reclosable bag or a plastic container or something like that. But anytime you're storing something, try to get as much air out of the container, out of the bag as you can, and then seal that, and then put it in your reclosable bag, and so forth.
right.
Label it. Be sure to label and date.
Like, what is this?
What is this? And when did we put it
Exactly,
in here?
date it,
But cornmeal
yes.
will last like that up to a year, stored at 0 in the freezer.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, so are there benefits? I know when you make cornbread, you have the cornmeal and you use oil, and but I'm assuming, number one, it's a whole grain, which is what we need. But other nutrition-wise,
Right. Now, sometimes cornmeal that we might get at the grocery store is a little more processed, and it won't necessarily be whole grain.
no, right, I
Look at
understand
the
that.
label, and if it says, but it will be enriched, and that is some of the nutrients added back that have been lost during that processing.
Okay.
And as you're removing different parts of the corn, the germ and so forth, then you're taking away some of the nutrients. So if you look at a bag of cornmeal in the grocery store, the first ingredient is probably enriched cornmeal, and then it will tell, because it'll have some vitamins and minerals put back, like some of the B vitamins. It might have some
Okay.
niacin and thiamine, riboflavin, a lot of several different things
Okay.
put in. that will, again, help to give back some of the nutrition to that. And cornmeal then is not high in calories, but we often add things to it, you know, that make it higher in calories.
Right. Well, I was just thinking when I make my cornbread, it's self-rising, so it's got everything in
Right,
it.
your leavening agent and
Right,
all.
right. And then all I do is add oil and milk and eggs.
And an egg.
And hook
Right.
all that up and pop it in. But the Willis's cornmeal, just to reiterate this again, is that they have everything in there. It's the whole corn.
Right.
So they take nothing out. And so nothing else has to be put back in. It has
Right.
the whole
They don't have to enrich
nutrition.
it because it already
Exactly.
is
Exactly.
a product that is nutritious by itself.
Right, exactly. So, anyway, well, folks, we're going to be cooking a cake of cornbread here. So, and Lynn Willis, we hope, is going to be able to be doing this. So stay tuned, and we'll be in the kitchen here in just a minute or two.
Welcome to me to Take
2. No, I'll keep going. I don't know. Have one question.
Yes.
Are those crabs on your shirt?
They are.
I just noticed that a couple of minutes ago.
I was preparing
I've been
for our-
mesmerized
for our-
ever since.
What the heck?
Tim, you all right back there?
She gets into a soul cycle accident.
A soul cycle
Yes.
accident. Yeah.
What?
Soul cycle.
It's like an exercise class where they're all
Oh, no wonder I don't know what you're talking about.
These days, having a secure job really matters. Take plumbing, for instance. No matter what's going on with the economy, there will always be a need for professional plumbers to fix problems, help finish a new home or renovation, and make sure the plumbing works just right. Plus, professional plumbers can make a very good living. CCC offers what you need to get going with your career as a plumber. We have a fast-track certificate program to give you top-notch residential plumbing skills and knowledge of code requirements. Our more in-depth diploma program can give you the technical know-how and skills to handle residential and some big commercial projects. You learn how to lay, install, and maintain piping fixtures and systems for gas, hot water, drainage, sprinkling, and plumbing processing systems in any environment. Job security, good pay, professional status. Now the question is, are you ready to start your journey today?
Hi, Cleveland County. Welcome to the current Cleveland County Kitchen Show. My name is Deborah Blanton. I'm host of the show, and I am here today with Chef Lynn Willis
Just Lynn.
of Rodney and Lynn Willis sorghum and cornmeal. You've already seen them in action, and I hope you got hungry for what I hope you're thinking of. In fact, I think I mentioned it on the show. We were going to cook cornbread. So here it is right now. So Lynn, tell us about your cornmeal.
Our cornmeal is stone ground cornmeal that we actually raise the corn on our farm. It's heirloom varieties. We have cornmeal made of the white limber cob heirloom corn.
Okay.
And we also have cornmeal made of what is known as Bloody Butcher Boy. It
Oh
is
my
a deep
goodness.
red corn. And we do cornmeal and grits, stone ground, at our facility.
On your farm.
On our farm.
Of course, they've already seen that.
They've seen the facility with the sorghum.
And you can buy this at the farmer's market. We'll try to remind
At the farmer's
you
market
again.
and also from our processing building at our house.
Oh, okay.
At our
Oh,
farm.
I didn't realize
We
that.
also
Well,
do
good.
that.
All right, well, now, cornbread it is, folks. So, Lynn, let's get started.
Okay. The first thing I do is I take a cup and a half of cornmeal. Now,
And while you're talking, I am going to remind them that this has been refrigerated. Am I correct?
it has been refrigerated.
And the reason is, I think I'm getting the scientific name, the endosperm.
We
Is-
call it the germ.
Yeah, but it's the endosperm of the corn. And is it like the little white part that's below the yellow, if you can envision a kernel of corn?
It's the base of the corn
Right,
seed.
Right, exactly.
And it's the little fatty piece that's naturally in the corn, and that's where all your flavor is.
The flavor is, and that's why you have to refrigerate it.
That is why we
because
have to
it
refrigerate.
could spoil, I would imagine.
Yeah, it is not shelf stable. If you buy in the grocery stores, they have actually anything
Listen,
sitting on the shelf.
Excuse me, Lynn, we're going to have to talk and work at the
Okay.
same time.
They have actually
And you're
taken
putting
out,
it
that's a
down.
half a cup of plain flour,
Okay,
2 tablespoons of sugar,
okay,
1 teaspoon of, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of salt.
And folks, this recipe will be out on the County Extension's website. But you could go run and get a pencil too.
And what I like to do is go ahead and stir the dry ingredients together before I ever start putting the wet ingredients
Okay,
in.
well, that makes sense. So while you get your wet ingredients, I'll continue stirring. on
Okay.
it. I'm the one with the apron today. All right, I can do that. All right,
And
good job.
Then I'm going to put in 1 egg.
Okay, can I start beating?
Yes, please.
Good deal, okay.
4 tablespoons of oil,
And what kind of oil?
corn oil or canola oil.
All right, good.
And then a half a cup of milk,
Okay. Perfect.
and then I'm going to get a half a cup of water.
All right. In the meantime, I'm taking up time mixing away here. Like this whisk, Lynn.
That's
All right.
the one I started housekeeping with many years ago.
My word. 40 plus years?
40 plus years.
There we go. All
Soon be
right, I'm going to let
43.
you stir at your consistency because you're used to that.
And the reason we don't take the fatty piece out is that's where all the flavor is.
Right. Now, we're going to pour that into this pan right here. Cast iron. I can do that while you're stirring.
It's ready. All I've got to
Okay,
do
good deal.
is spray it. And this is a combination of flour and oil together. Baker's Joy, this one's the Baker's Joy. There's several others. And then we just,
Oh, and that's quite a bit. She piled a bunch in here.
yeah. I don't want it to stick. I want the cornbread to come out easy.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Okay.
And then I just
Pour away here.
pour it into, and these are divided pans. You can put it in one solid
Yeah.
cast iron pan. If you don't have cast iron pans, you can actually use a glass baking dish, and that works well too. The cast iron will make it come out just slightly darker.
Okay. And darker all the way around.
Darker all the way around.
Yes.
And the Bloody Butcher Boy corn, which I'm doing today, I am doing the limber cob corn, which is white corn. But the red corn, when you do it in cast iron, it will come out darker. And you'll
All the
think,
way through it.
all the way through it.
Gotcha.
But the outer part is much darker when you bake it.
Now, I'll tell you what I do, Lynn. I heat up my cast iron before I put my
I don't.
juicy stuff in.
I don't.
Because that really makes it really crusty on the bottom.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't, because the amount of time I'm going to cook it, I want it to be pretty even all the way around. So
Now, we have the oven heated at 400.
400 and
For
you're
how long?
25 minutes.
25 minutes, all right. So we're going to eat this when you all have gone. All right, but now we have the after too. We're always prepared for that. So Lynn, if we can put that right over here.
We will.
Yeah,
I'm
right
going to
over
move
here.
this.
We'll get that right here, okay. And then we're going to produce a miracle with a piece of cornbread, sorghum, and butter. Now, if you want to do whatever you want to do, but I want to have people see this happen.
Okay, let's just.
And I cannot open that up. Oh my God, you can't eat it.
My husband closed this thing.
Rodney.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, we got it.
I got it.
We got it. All right, do you pour this first?
Yes.
All right, good.
Well, now some people do it. Let's put this down first.
Okay. And then all right, and do this, or you want to
Yeah,
spoon
just-
it out?
No, I'm actually going to use, like my grandmother taught me, just to cut it off with a spoon.
Good. Oh, good. Now, how are we going to crush this up? You need a fork? We don't have a fork. How about the knife? Oh, it's butter soft enough. Yeah.
It's softened enough.
Oh, it's perfect. Now, folks, it works better if the cornbread is warm. Unfortunately, that came all the way from Bellwood, so it's not quite warm, and we didn't think about heating it up. But that works good. All right. Okay. Wow. Is this not beautiful? Oh, folks, you know me. I got to try some of this. Sorry, Lynn. Well, there's another
That's
spoon
fine.
there. There's another spoon there. Oh, my goodness.
I'm kind of
The best in the world.
I'm kind of a purist. I just take my cornbread and drag it through just pure syrup. No butter.
I'm good. Oh, butter makes it even better. Lynn, I can't thank you enough.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're the farmer and you're the chef. That doesn't happen too often on this show.
Well,
So we really appreciate you and Rodney and everything we've done with the sorghum and the cornmeal.
we appreciate everything that y'all have done for filming us and
Well,
letting us kind of get known
yeah,
through
exactly.
this program.
Well, we hope so. Folks, you've been a wonderful audience. Go home, make you some cornbread, and enjoy. Have a great month.
Hi, I'm Nikki Bliss Carroll, your host for Cleveland Connections, the show that explores what's happening at Cleveland Community College. Join us as we sit down with members of faculty and staff to discuss programs of study, upcoming events, and other exciting campus news. We'll have a new show for you each month on C19 TV, or you can stream us online at c19.tv. Tune in and connect with Cleveland Community College on Cleveland Connections.
Someone once said that without music, life would be a mistake. And that's how we feel here on Face the Music. Hi, I'm Summer Castle-Keever, and I'd love for you to join me each month on our new program, Face the Music, which airs on C19 TV and C19.tv. Each month we'll highlight the talents, personalities, and stories behind some of the area's most gifted singers, songwriters, and musicians. It's going to be a lot of fun, so join me each month for a new edition of Face the Music right here on C19.